overtime!
All right, welcome back. I'm Charlie, and today is a somber day here at Overtime Arcade because today we're going to be saying goodbye to one of our beloved arcade machines. Now, I know I've mentioned this previously on the channel. I've been saying for a while that we're going to be taking this class of 1981 reunion cabinet, which is a combination Miss Pac-Man and Galaga, and we're going to be moving it to my office at work one day. Well, that someday is today. In this episode, we're going to pull this game out of the lineup. We're going to get it loaded up on my truck. We're going to take it to my office and at work and get it all set up there. So, yeah, why don't we get started with that? This is actually a first for me. I've never actually taken a game out of the basement. Once they've been down here in the lineup, they've all stayed. And yeah, this will be the first one that actually leaves the basement. Okay, so first things first, let's turn this bad boy off and pull it out of the lineup. So I've got all my games on these carpet slider things, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's still super easy to pull in and out, especially in the lineup where bumps into everything and it's hard to get an angle on it, and I'm being distracted by the Rescue Rangers theme song on the play choice. So let's see. I've got this power surge protector back here that all the games are plugged into. So I'm just disconnecting them and moving it away from, moving it off of this reunion cab, class of 1981 cab. Yeah, I've always wondered why they called it the class of 1981. I think technically Miss Pac-Man was released in January of 1982. Yeah, that's when the copyright date is on the manual and everything, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe Miss Pac-Man, was able to graduate in 81, but had to take a few more credits to finish her degree. So yeah, let's rock this back and forth and eventually we'll be able to slide it out of the lineup. All right, I hope you had fun watching me struggle with that. This thing, even though it's the smaller version, I guess you would call this the cabaret version of the class of 1981, sort of designed for home use only. It's got this, I think it's a 25-inch monitor inside that really, really makes it heavy. And of course it's particle board, which is heavier than plywood, so I'm a little bit out of breath from that. You saw how easy it was for me to move the centipede out of the way. So let's see, there's a couple things I want to do before we get this loaded on the truck. As you can see, I want to reduce the vertical height a little bit. You can almost kind of barely see the free play there down at the bottom. So we'll reduce the vertical height a little bit. And I think the brightness is a little too high. So let's come around to the back of the cabinet. Here we go. And like I said, this is the home use only version, so it doesn't have a coin door. It's just got a sticker there. And there's no lock on the back. It's just four screws holding it in place, or a couple of screws holding it in place. We do have this on. I can't remember if there's a interlock switch that's going to take this off. And there isn't. Even the back door is heavy, good Lord. All right. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Oops. So, let's see. I've not even really looked at this all that much. So we've got a Wells Gardner sticker here. Let's see. It says manufactured October 2003. This cabinet was built in December 2003, so that class of 1981 had a bit of a production run. So I think this is a K7000 or some form of that. Let's see, down here we've got the power supply and the board, I believe. Is the board right there? Where's the board? Yeah, it must be down there. I've really not spent much time mucking about with this cabinet. This is actually the only game that I've ever bought completely working. So yeah, let's see. With the, again, I believe this is a K7000. It's got this remote board, so it's got these this little circuit board with these potentiometers to allow you to make adjustments, and you can mount that in a convenient spot, like inside the coin door or something like that. But here it's just mounted right there. So let me go and let's see. I'll get my head in there nice and close and see which one of those pots controls the vertical size. Let's see. Or, that would be the horizontal width. I wonder if I can make that adjustment or if I have to use a horizontal width coil. All right, I'll put this here. And, sort of thinking of this as the height that a normal person would be looking at the screen, I want to make it so that that free play wording down there at the bottom is visible from somebody sitting at that height. So let me come in and see what's going on here. Vertical size, horizontal size, there we go. That's what I want. So I don't actually have to adjust the horizontal width coil. I'll just come in here and adjust this pot. Turn it down a little bit. Let's see what that did. I think that went in the wrong direction. Ha! So let's come on back. Yeah, horizontal size. Wow, that is as far as that pot will go. Let's go all the way in the other direction. Huh. Yeah, see how tall it is now? It's just completely crazy. So let's come back and go all the way to the other extreme. Yeah, and you still can't quite see it say free play down there. Maybe we can adjust the vertical position or the horizontal position to fix that. Maybe that would be this one. What did that do? A little bit. I think we can do some more. That horizontal position. How's that looking? Oh, no, the top is sort of cut off. Huh. Isn't that interesting? I might, if I can't make this adjustment, that's still a little bit cut off. If I can't get this adjustment exactly right, I don't know if there's there's got to be a horizontal width coil on this thing, right? I really haven't worked much on, I think that's fine. All right, you can kind of see it. You can see the top's not cut off. That bottom, I guess, is fine. What's the height of most normal people? Like this? They'd probably see that. All right, are there any other monitor adjustments I want to make? Yeah, I wanted to turn the brightness down a skosh. Again, let's see. Contrast, black level. Try contrast. Now, what did that do? All right, way too dark. Let's come back the other direction. How's that looking? Let's turn the lights off. I think that looks pretty good. I bought this monitor from somebody out of their house, and like I said, this is the home version, so it's entirely possible that this game was only ever played in someone's house, so that's really not bad. I'm curious about how this monitor is mounted and whether it makes sense to maybe take it out. Obviously, this is not a light cabinet, and all of the weight, well, much of the weight is in the monitor. So let me see if I can figure out how this monitor is mounted in here. All right, the control panel has got this one Molex connector, so we'll pull that off. And man, this control panel is a lot thinner from most 1980s commercial control panels. Let's get this bezel glass off. And there's a cardboard bezel here. Some dust and debris on it. Okay. And I guess this is just a 19-inch monitor after all. Maybe it was the commercial version of the class of 1981 that had the 25-inch. So yeah, this is just a 19-inch monitor, and I'm trying to figure out sort of what's the easiest way to unmount this thing. We've got a couple of bolts down here on a tray, and up there I'm not quite sure what's going on. Those are the backs of some bolts, but if I disconnect that, it'll fall this way. So how in the world was this monitor put in the first place? Let me take a closer look. Okay, I messed with it a bunch and ultimately decided it wasn't worth it to pull the monitor out. It's not that heavy. I'm not going that far. Yeah, I got to go up a flight of stairs to get out of my basement, but it's on the ground level at the office, so I'm just not going to worry about it. I did confirm, however, that it is a Wells Gardner K7203. That's the monitor that's in there, and thank God there are flybacks still available for that in case this goes out one day. And yeah, it is just a 19-inch monitor. It looks really big for whatever reason, but maybe it's because the cabaret size makes it look big. One last thing I wanted to show you before we button this up and get it ready to go upstairs and go in the truck is, even though this is billed as a combination Miss Pac-Man and Galaga, there is a secret code that will allow you to play the original Pac-Man on this machine. So all you need to do is go to the game select screen, which you get to by hitting any of the 4 start buttons, and you want to go up 3 times, down 3 times, then left, right, left, right. You'll hear a chime, you'll hear a tone, and that'll tell you that you entered the code correctly. So let's do that right here. Up, 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 down, 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 left, right, left, right. Or left, right, left, I think. You heard that tone, you heard that chime. And so if we hit the start button for Ms. Pac-Man, we have the original Pac-Man. So with this cabinet going to the office, yeah, my colleagues are going to be able to play all 3 games. I'm going to put a sign on it sort of, explaining what you need to do to, and I'm dead. Oh, almost. Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. I'll put a sign on it explaining, whoa, got away from me, how to get the original Pac-Man so that it's not a mystery. But yeah, so by moving this game to the to the office, you know, my plan is to replace its spot in the lineup with the Ms. Pac-Man, the dedicated original Ms. Pac-Man, once we finish that restoration project. But yeah, we'll be losing the ability to play Galaga and the original Pac-Man by getting rid of this cabinet, which, you know, a little bit sad, but, you know, you can modify the Ms. Pac-Man board to get it to play original Pac-Man. And if I'm honest, I don't really love Galaga all that much. So I'm not going to lose any sleep over losing that, but I do like Pac-Man. So there's let's get to the the cutscene. Kind of innovative thing at the time. Pac-Man might have been one of the first arcade games to have a cutscene. There we go, all four. And Miss Pac-Man, obviously. Ooh, I got the strawberry, but not before they got me. And I got a extra man, extra Pac-Man, extra life just before I died, so. All right, I'm just gonna get to the cutscene before calling it quits. Whoa, I'm playing it at a weird angle, and I'm not particularly good at video games. Let's get that strawberry. Close call after close call. And, you know, this isn't like the right joystick, especially it's a four-way joystick and it's micro switches instead of leaf switches. And four-way is not right for Galaga. You really want left and right. And there's our cutscene. All right, let's get this thing buttoned up and ready to go. So we'll come back here to the back. There's a power switch down here to kill the game, and there is no interlock on the back door, so just be mindful of that. Okay, and one thing I want to do is see if there's a way to push the power cord into the cabinet, and it doesn't look like there is, which is a bit of an inconvenience because that means the game won't lie flat on its back, and there's also this volume pot here. I guess that's a test switch. So I guess we're going to have to transport this thing on its side, which, you know, isn't the end of the world, but we did the I did that when I bought the game. And let me show you the, come on gimbal. Let me show you the damage. I have the gimbal set to slow, and it's really taking its time to come over. So this is what happened when I laid the game on its side and slid it into the truck. I had the seller kind of help me, and I don't think he was being as careful as I would have been. So kind of cracked the, you can see the particle board, MDF, whatever, right there. So that's unfortunate. Otherwise, it's a minty cabinet. But yeah, we'll have to pay careful attention not to mess it up yet again. So yeah, with most games, wow, this gimbal's really giving me trouble. With most games, you know, the power cord can be tucked into the cabinet. You just open the back door, and maybe there's only a little cutout slot for it to go, but it's got this strain relief bushing in here, and I don't see an easy way to move this entire thing out of the way. So there goes that idea. So those are two ideas I had that are shot down. One, we're not removing the monitor, and two, my God, this back door is heavy. And two, we're not going to tuck the power cord inside to let it ride on its back. So Yeah, and like you saw, it has, you know, Ms. Pac-Man side art on this side and Galaga side art on this side. So I guess you get the best of both worlds. So let's close this thing back up. There we go. This one's missing its little washer. There we go, nice and secure. So, yeah, I think we are ready to transport this thing. Let me grab the hand truck and we'll get set up for that. Okay, I've got my hand truck and I'm ready to load it up. I actually have a couple of different hand trucks for different types of situations. I like this one because it has the sort of, I don't know what you call these, stair climbers that let you drag it up a flight of stairs without damaging things. And of course my strap is all twisted up here. I think even though, you know, we've got the power cord and stuff on the back, I don't want to lay it on its back in my actual truck, but I think I can put it on the hand truck from the back of the cabinet without damaging anything. Oh, you know what? We're still on our carpet sliders, so let me get those out of the way. Ah, and it had fallen off of one. Maybe that's why it was such a bear to get it out of the lineup. Yeah, and I even see it. It was knocked. Both of the front ones had been knocked out of position. Interesting. So that must have been why it wasn't sliding properly. So I've got just a bunch of these things here. I guess this brand is called X Protector, and it's just a very dense foam on top, maybe foam rubber, and then slick plastic on the bottom, and it helps the cabinet or any heavy furniture slide more easily on carpet as long as it's, you know, in contact with the legs. So should be able to get on a little bit easier now. All right, that's not gonna hurt anything. Nope. And we can get it strapped up just so I don't lose control of it while we're going down, or going up the stairs rather. I've also got another hand truck with sort of big inflatable tires, which I don't know if that's better for going over grass, that sort of thing. Unpaved surfaces, but yeah, between the two of them, gets the job done. Strap it on without getting it too tight. We don't want it to damage the cabinet. Okie doke. Too tight. You know, and what's funny is I actually worked for a moving company one summer in college. So I should know how damn hand truck works the right way, but you know, that was decades ago. All right, now we're cooking. Look at that. That ain't going anywhere. Famous last words, right? Okay. And like that. I don't know if there's... I don't want this all banging around. And that'll just keep the power cord from going all crazy. All right. let's say goodbye to Class of '81. All right, we made it. That was not fun coming up those basement stairs, and I don't know, many of you might have been thinking it was a close call a couple times, but we made it. I'm out of breath. I am definitely not 20 anymore, but here we are. We've got the machine safely staged in the garage, and in the morning we'll get up early, we'll load this onto the truck, we'll drive it into the office, and we'll get it all set up there. So stay tuned for that. All right, it's the next morning, and I think we're ready to load this game on the truck. So I've got everything lined up. I always put a flattened cardboard box down in the truck bed just to kind of help it slide in and out, and then another one sort of up against the cab. Yeah, like I said, I normally like to put these games on their backs, but given how this one is set up, that isn't really an option. So we'll just start by leaning it up against the tailgate, and we'll use our superhuman strength to lift this up into the bed of the truck. You know, it's really a good idea to have two people when you're doing this, but that's not an option for me right now. So, and I'm going to be careful to try and not damage the cabinet any more than it already is. So here goes. All right. And as you can see, this home version doesn't even have leg levelers. If I was going to do it all over again and buy one of these, I definitely would have gotten the commercial version with the coin door and all that, but it is what it is. All right. And, typically, most of the cabinets I transport are full size, and the tailgate won't go up, but this one's shorter, so I will be able to close the tailgate just fine, so I won't need my bed extender. Put that over to the side. If you've been following me for a while, you know how crazy I often get with shrink wrap and tarps, all kinds of stuff, holding down cabinets and protecting them from the elements. But today I'm not going particularly far, and the weather looks like it's going to cooperate, so I don't need to worry too much about that. Again, famous last words, right? So I'm just using a moving blanket to protect the cab a little bit, and now I'm just going to tie it down, being extra cautious with a couple of ratchet straps. All right, that looks good. I don't think that'll be going anywhere. We're nice and secure in the truck, so we can close her up and hit the road. All right, there you have it. One class of 1981 arcade cabinet delivered to the office for my coworkers and I to enjoy. So the ride over was pretty easy. I got it into the rec room at the office, no problem. Plugged into a surge protector over here. And yeah, everything looks good. I think I've got a minor convergence, or not convergence, degaussing issue sort of up in the upper right corner. And if that doesn't clear itself out on its own, I'll bring in my degaussing coil, my handheld degaussing coil tool, and clear that right up. But yeah, looks great, working great. It's not too loud. Look at all those high scores that are mine. It's not too loud, so shouldn't disturb my coworkers, but we'll probably leave it off when nobody's playing it. So yeah, I think that'll do it for this episode of Overtime Arcade. As always, I'm Charlie. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Overtime!